There is no guarantee for success, but there are ways to get closer to it when you do the right things. Who you surround yourself with is just as important as what you do. Finding the right people, the right classes, the right activities, and taking the right tests are all decisions that shape your future. Find out more today on Destination University with Dr. Cynthia Colon. Dr. Colon and her guests will give you the tips you need, whether you're a student, parent, or educator. Now, here is your host, Dr. Cynthia Colon.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Destination University, 30 Teens and 30 Dreams. We're running a special series this April. Every day in April, we're highlighting a rock star student and talking about their college admission journey and where they're headed to college. Each of them will share a hot tip of their choice and share with you a little bit about what they think made them special and unique in this process. If you are a college-bound teen or a champion of one, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Today, we're going to meet Anayansi, who is a rock star, and you can see there, she already knows where she's headed. She applied early decision, which we'll talk a little bit about, but I'll let her share her entire story in just a minute. She is amazing, so you won't want to miss this episode. Before we do that, I wanted to share the hot tip of the day. Our friends over at Big Future with College Board, they want to share with you on how to pay for college. I know that all of the students I work with, my private clients, and all of the campers, their number one question is, how am I going to pay for this college situation, right? Am I right? So if you head on over to Big Future, they'll match you up with scholarships that are right for you based on your background, based on your achievements, based on your career path, whatever you're wanting. And on top of that, if you fill out submit different steps, you'll also be eligible for College Board to give you a scholarship themselves. So Big Future every month gives out $500 scholarships and two $40,000 scholarships. So head on over to bigfuture.org and get started today. All right, so Anayansi, can you hear me? Are you guys ready?
All good, yeah.
All good. This is one of my favorite families. You guys are in for a treat because today we meet the whole family. But for right now, Anayansi is our star, and then at the end, all of us will get a chance to celebrate her. So, Anayansi, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I've seen you.
It has.
Loving the bangs, and I love that mom and dad you guys are all, and brother, you're all in the colors. So let's just jump in, because this was really special that you found your specific calling and school and all of that. So walk us through your journey. When did you start this process and searching for a major and schools for you?
So I think college has been a thing my family's thought about since I was very, very young. A thing that we did as a family when I was younger was going on cross-country road trips. So over the years, we've managed to visit all 48 continental states. So we've been pretty much everywhere, and my parents made sure it was a big goal for them to take us to many of the universities that were in the states that we were visiting. So since I was like around 7 or 8 years old, I've been going on college tours all over the country. So they've shown me like a wide variety of what's available. As I got older, though, I really was like set on becoming a doctor because I really love science and I wanted to become an OBGYN. I thought it was a really promising career and that I would feel very fulfilled with it. And then the pandemic hit and my grades for math classes weren't doing too great, and I just wasn't seeing myself in the next 12 years of studying that it would take to become a doctor. And so I kind of started to research other majors and schools and all of that. And my mom was very proactive about the whole college situation. And so she got in contact with you, Dr. Cologne, through, I think, the program Hope. And we started at around, I think, the summer of my sophomore year. And you were very encouraging about, looking around and kind of figuring out or just browsing what all the schools had to offer. And Syracuse, I came upon it just randomly, really, like it was a total coincidence. I happened to hear that Joe Biden went there for his law degree, I think, and I was just looking through their catalog of majors and I found the Bandier program, which is what I'm going to be majoring in. So
Okay, so first of all, props to the family, mom and dad, for taking you cross country and really exploring. This is really one of those hot tips. Parents that are listening, write it down, that when you're on vacation and you're just, or on a business trip, it's a great idea to just tag along and attach a college tour. Plenty of colleges. I treat colleges like national parks, and I really, want to, have other students really explore. So props to mom and dad for that. Now, so let's talk about your major. And the Bandiere program is within the Newhouse School at Syracuse. And if I remember correctly, I think, was it last summer, one of the stops on your family trips was to visit Syracuse. So why don't you sort of, walk us through getting there, and I know, how you felt and how you found the Bandiere program.
Yeah, so I think we had 6 states that were left on our bucket list, basically, of all the continental states, and that was over in New England. And we finally got a chance this past summer to schedule our trip out there, and we flew into, I think, JFK Airport, and got a rental car, and then from there continued our little road trip throughout New England. And I had my own personal interest in Syracuse, but I think my parents were still pretty convinced that I was gonna maybe go pre-med or like look at other majors that weren't exactly bandiere or like music related. And so I kind of scheduled the tour of Syracuse on my own, basically. There's a general Syracuse tour, but because there's multiple colleges in the school, they have their own private tours for colleges as well. And I told my parents that I scheduled both tours, but they kind of were just like, I guess we're going because she wants to, like she's interested. And yeah, it was a bit of like I kind of winged it in a way. And I was kind of explaining the whole major through our little trip that it took to get there. We happened to be just outside of New York City. That's where we were staying. And so Syracuse is around 4 hours away from the city. And we woke up very, very early in the morning because I think our interview, not our interview, our tour was scheduled for 9 a.m. Yeah. And so we just hopped in the car early in the morning and drove the 4 hours to get to there. My brother was lucky enough to sleep in.
They left me behind.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was really cool getting there. I was super duper nervous because I didn't really know what to expect, and I think I'd kind of already fallen in love with the campus and the school a bit, so I was pretty charged up to get there. And I think one of the first things I noticed was how quiet it was. It was like a very small, not too like noisy street that we parked on, and then we had to find parking, and we walked all the way over to the Newhouse School of Comms on our own. And it was just like very peaceful. It was kind of spread out, but I really liked how quiet and calming the whole vibe was of the campus.
Now, I feel like I remember you meeting a gentleman by the name of Wes or Wesley, something like that.
Yes.
And explain to the listeners and viewers what it will mean to be in the Bandiere program as in the music industry, and like what kinds of classes will you take, and how did you, so share with everyone what that even means.
Yeah, so when we first got into Newhouse, we went immediately, I think, to the main office that just happened to be open, and we met Mr. Whiteside, Wesley Kareem Whiteside, I'm pretty sure is his name, and he's the director of diversity there at the school, and he was super welcoming. I think right off the bat, my parents were maybe speaking in Spanish or something, and he recognized that we were people of color, and we kind of started to get to talking, and he was very, very welcoming and kind. And he broke down that Bandiere is really trying to spread out and diversify their student body, and he really took it upon himself to like show us around like himself, the school, and like introduce us to a couple of professors as well. And he was just very kind. Like I don't think if we had met him, I wouldn't have gotten such a good idea of the school. And he really reassured my parents, who were kind of confused as to why we were there. And he was really nice. Yeah. He showed us, I think, a recording studio, because one of the first classes that you're supposed to take as a new Bandiere student is I think like music technology and production. And personally, I'm not a very musical person. I do enjoy singing if I hear a song that I like. And I am a dancer, so I have a pretty personal connection with music. But the actual production of it and, the nitty-gritty of making music is not something that I'm very familiar with. And I was kind of off put when he was like, you're gonna have to be taking a class on music production, because I was like, I don't know how to do any of this. But the professor that we met and Wesley were so reassuring, and they basically explained that as a manager, a big part of your job is going to be your understanding of all of the equipment and all the pieces that go together into producing music and like advertising your artist and everything. And a good example that they told me was that, maybe I won't remember every single step or little instruction that it takes to work this kind of technology, but in the future, if I'm managing an artist, there will be a possibility that like, they have to record something really quickly and we happen to be in some little city. And so I'm going to have to be able to like make calls and know that there's like specific pieces of equipment that my artist is going to need to make their music. And just being knowledgeable in those things is going to be like really helpful in the future.
Well, it sounds like he not only reassured your parents, because obviously here you are, that was a place for you, and maybe he'll kind of look after you. It also sounds like he helped you understand that the creative skills you already have in dance and other things that you do are transferable to this major, and it would be similar things that you could bring to the table as well, if I remember correctly. So, sort of speaking of that, a little bit of transition, and so I have two questions that go hand in hand before we share and celebrate you, and that is this is a journey, and obviously one of your suggestions is start early. So what did you share with everyone? What did you do right? What's a hot tip that you would say? Yeah, do this, and what would you do differently if anything? So go ahead, and then we'll bring the whole family in. So.
Yeah, so I think when you first extended the offer to me to be like interviewed for this podcast, one of the questions was like exactly that, like, what do you think you did well and what would you do differently if you got a chance to redo it? And I kind of spent a lot of time thinking about it, but I really don't think there's much that I would change. I think the whole process for me, it was definitely stressful. I would never say it wasn't stressful, and it was definitely a challenge. But I had like the support of my family. I had the support of you and DCA, the SA Bootcamp, and all of that together was just really helpful. I mean, my family got me started super early and being interested in colleges. My mom reached out to you specifically herself to get me involved with DCA. School-wise, I've always been pretty responsible when it comes to my grades and my classes, but I also do like to balance that out with hanging out with my friends and having fun, and I think I just was lucky enough to have a pretty easy go at it. Yeah, there's not much I would change.
Well, I think something key, and we're going to now bring everybody in, something key that you just said is having a support system. And so with that, I'm going to just introduce everyone to one of my favorite families, because you're going to feel the love. So I've been seeing, you couldn't see her, Anayansi, but in the background, I could see your mom nodding her head every so often when you said some certain things. So mom, dad, and brother, second, just go ahead, share with us, or share with your daughter what you're thinking now and how you're feeling about this now that it's finally coming to this point, and you're going to see her off very soon.
I think we're very excited that she's going to be going off to college. We are going to be empty nesters. Our son is at Boise State. And that's going to be a whole different, aspect that we're going to deal with, but we're very proud of her. And we're so excited when we found out. We actually found out right before December, the holiday break. And it was such, we didn't have the words for it. We were just shocked. And it was her number one school, and the commitment that she had to undertake to not only apply for school, but also us reading the document that said if she got accepted, she couldn't take any other offers. That was it. That was all. We couldn't do anything foreign or domestic. It was very serious, and both my husband Jaime and I read it, and we were like, wow, this is pretty serious. So when she got accepted, we didn't have the words for it. We were in shock. Not because we didn't expect her to be able to get in. It was more, this is it. And she had been preparing to submit college applications to about 13 or 14 other schools. And that ended our process because she could not do anything else. We were done officially. So for us, we kept pinching ourselves for the next few months on what had happened. So we're still there. We're excited and we're very proud of her. She is right to say we were not expecting her to go into media. We'd always talked about becoming an OBGYN, going into medicine. She loves science and biology, and it was pretty startling, but her dad and I both realized she needs to do something she wants to do, that she's gonna like and enjoy, and that it's not gonna be, not difficult, but just something she's gonna want to get up for and do every day. So what do you have to say?
Dad, go ahead.
My baby girl is leading us. It's not it's not a happy moment for me.
A problem.
And I am proud beyond words, but it's just I just spent a lot of time reminiscing, thinking about where did 18 years go. And I've always known that she's a go-getter, and she's always pretty darn sure of herself. And when she broke the news that she was not going to be going into medicine, we were already in New York or on the trip in New England, and she was kind of like easy does it, kind of plant the seed and water it as every day goes by. And she convinced us to go take her on a tour of Syracuse, and I was pretty amazed with the campus.
Yeah.
But she's a go-getter, and she went and got it.
She is a
Yeah.
go-getter. She's going to figure that out. And I don't know, maybe Anayansi might share with you. She and I might have had a little chat about how to plant the seed slowly.
She did not disclose that. There you go.
Okay, let's hear from your brother. And he is coming to us live from Boise. Go ahead, brother.
I just want to say I'm super proud of my baby sister. She's always talked about it. I would like to say that our relationship is super close. She shares with me, I share with her. It's always in confidence. And I think I've always seen her be interested in being a doctor and whatnot, but I know within the last year or so, she showed interest in other forms of stuff. She didn't outright tell me that, hey, I want to be a media manager. I had no idea what that was, but she would every now and then mention like, man, I wonder what it'd be like to be a manager of this artist or something. But I'm just super proud of her. She's always, I would say me and her have always been attached at the hip since she was born, because I remember going to see her when she was, and just, it's always been an adventure with her and growing up and whatever. Just now that she's going to New York, it's one scary because being her bigger brother, it's one of those things where that's scary. And I know I'm now 9 hours away from my family, but I still worry for her, but I am beyond words, beyond happy. I mean, out here in Boise, when I talk to people, I just feel like just beaming with joy when people are like, do you have family? What are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, my sister's going to Syracuse. And they're just like, wow. And I mean, I love her immensely. I mean, everybody who has siblings knows that there are moments where you get upset at them or you just don't want to talk to them. But for her, I really can't stay mad at her for more than maybe 30 minutes to an hour before it's going back into her room and saying, I love you, give me a hug, and then us watching TV or hanging out. So I'm just super ecstatic and happy. I go to Boise State, so I'm blue and orange. So she's gonna be at Syracuse, orange and blue. So I definitely am excited for her going off and figuring all this out on her own. That's not to say that she will not have us, me, my mom, and my dad. At the drop of a hat, we'll be there for her no matter what.
I just love this family. So just when we were waiting for you to hop on, I asked them, I said, are you collecting, orange clothing? And I had forgotten that you at Boise State. So I don't know, Iris, if you want to stand up, I can see Dad's orange and blue. Let's see your orange and blue. And Anayansi, are you wearing a Syracuse?
I have my sweater.
Let's see your sweatshirt. Here, stand up a little bit so we can see it in the frame.
Syracuse.
Syracuse. I love that. Oh, you guys got it.
And we brought the little folder that says Syracuse bound.
Syracuse bound. Oh my goodness.
I'm the opposite, Boise State, blue and orange. So but I will rep Syracuse proudly for my little sister.
Anayansi, do you see your mom, what she's wearing?
Yeah, I know. She was constructing it right before the interview. She was like putting the tape together and everything.
Funny enough, actually, before my parents found out, we were picking up our cousin because she came to hang out with us for that week before Christmas. And my sister, she is one of the brightest young ladies that I've ever met. And to this day, I'm still proud of her. I will always be proud of her, but I mean, you always forget things. You don't check your emails. And sure enough, she had actually gotten the email, I think, what was it, a full day before or 2 days?
I think it was like 3 or 4 days before I saw it.
So she had been milling about telling us, oh my God, they haven't gotten back to me. They haven't gotten back to me. And I was like, it's okay, you're fine. Like, you're going to do good. You got it. They're taking their sweet time. And sure enough, we get home and she's like, oh, I got the email. We made a whole production of it, surprising mom and dad. We were like, we're going to sit them down. And I mean, parents' intuition is something else. The fact that they saw how we were, they were just like,
we were all charged up. We were like, you have to get home now. There's something going on and it's very important. Nobody's dead. Nobody's hurt, but just get home.
But sure enough, they walk in through the door and they know something's afoot. And I mean, I think they just saw the Syracuse because we put it basically on the TV like this and turned it on. And they read I don't even remember how it starts. It just said Syracuse. And I think my mom just started like crying. My dad was just like stunned.
What the F?
They're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Right before Christmas. Right before Christmas.
So if you guys can't see why I love this family, I mean, you look at this and the dad's got the sign, everything. I think one takeaway that I have had from you, not just from today, but since the very first time I met the entire family, was that you need a support system through this process. Whether you get it from school, at home, so, outside private counselor. Anayansi joined Dream College Academy, DCA, and then from there we actually began to work privately, and then she was an SA camper. But whoever's listening right now, students, parents, please write down, you need a support system because this process is not meant to be done by yourself at all. So, all right, everyone, stick around. Let me just do the wrap up and then we'll all wave goodbye, okay?
Okay.
Oh, my goodness, do you just love this family? Oh my God, I just want to eat them up. Okay, well, if today's episode has in any way fueled your confidence or helped to build your dreams, please share this episode with 3 people in the next 30 minutes. And how could it not inspire you? My goodness. If you do nothing else today, parents, I would invite you to join us on our Facebook group, Destination University with a YOU, because the destination is not university. The destination is in fact you. So I would do that. And if you haven't headed over to bigfuture.org, do that and get started on funding your college dreams. You can also join us in essay camp this summer, drcynthiacolon.com/essay camp. Registration officially opens April 11th, but you can learn more now. All right, that's all I have for you today. Be sure to continue watching and listening throughout the entire month of April, where we highlight a new student every single day. All right, wave everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening this week to Destination University. Be sure to join Dr. Cynthia Colon again and get one step closer to your success.